Oh, he's Dr. Kilbourne. Okay.
He don't specify that.
Dr. Jim Kilbourne. Thank you.
Is that it?
He said to tell you that she's not doing this. Dr. Jim Kilbourne. Okay.
Okay, yeah.
It's 6 o'clock. It's 6 o'clock. Bob.
You can do the pledge.
I'll do it. Yeah.
What's this? That's 5. I guess it was just there. Glad to have you back, Bob.
I got waylaid by a police dog out there.
I guess I'll need a motion to come back in from closed session. Have a motion.
I move that we kind of return out of closed session and
Have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
All right, Joe, let's start with you.
Yes.
Philip? Yes. I say yes. Bobby?
Yes.
Dr. Littrell?
Yes.
and
Bob.
yes.
All right, then need a motion to so certify that we talked about those issues that we discussed beforehand.
Make a motion that we certify that we only discuss business that we announced that we would discuss pursuant to the code.
All right, I have a motion. Do I have a second?
A second.
So, have a motion and a second. Start with you, Joe.
Yes.
Yes. I say yes. Robbie?
Yes.
Dr. Little?
Also certified.
Yes.
Bob. All right, if I'll ask Robbie to do the invocation and the pledge.
So rise, please. Let's pray. Heavenly Father, we thank you for this opportunity to gather together and to conduct business for the county, and just ask that you keep us mindful of what we're here to do. Ask you that you lead, guide, and direct us. Keep us safe in our travels as we return home tonight. Lord, just thank you for the many blessings you've passed down upon us. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I want to thank everybody for being here tonight. If I don't speak up loud enough, let me know. And I guess we'll move forward with the business approval of the agenda. Have a motion to approve the agenda.
I make a motion we accept the agenda as presented.
Do I have a second?
So moved.
I'll start with voting with Joe.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Dr. Little?
Yes.
Robert?
And yes.
All right. And do I have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
I move that we approve the consent agenda.
Do I have a second?
I second.
Second. All right, start with you, Joe.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Dr.
Yes.
Little?
And yes,
All right. That takes us down to Canine Retirement. Is that correct? Do we have somebody wanting to retire from the county? Not everybody jump up here at once.
that dog bit me out there in the hall.
I don't blame it.
He turns you loose quick.
I have, when I was in Vietnam, I was with the tracker unit. We had dogs, we had scout dogs and tracker dogs. There's nothing more valuable to a law enforcement officer or to a police officer or to a military guy. When you're out dealing with rough customers, I don't think you can have a better partner with you. I guess you feel about the same. So I want to give you this plaque. Or give this gentleman, like, I need to shake his paw. I guess he didn't want to have nothing to do with that. But I certainly appreciate this.
Thank y'all so much.
You'll pull back a nub if you touch that dog, Rex.
Absolutely.
What's he going to do in his retirement age?
Enjoy himself.
We certainly appreciate it. I don't know what the sheriff's going to do. What's he going to do?
Probably the same thing I am. Gonna miss him.
We certainly appreciate it. We appreciate the work.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I appreciate it. Thank y'all.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Cody.
Yes, sir. Thank y'all. Thanks, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I've got one other thing to do here. Robbie, if you come out front here. Robbie's an outgoing chair. Of course, really, this should be given to you when you come on as chair. I will give this to Robbie.
Thank you. I appreciate
We
it.
could have used that night to.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
We certainly appreciate it. I hope I can do as well as you do. Did a great job.
Thank y'all for the opportunity to serve.
That's right. Yes.
One thing I'd like to recognize too with, not just with the canine, but with that canine comes the family that's put up with and has missed a lot out of Cody and the dog when we've called him out for things, and I just think that's something that we ought to recognize as citizens of this county, is the family that's behind that dog, that's been there from the start with us, and it's a debt we can't pay back. I'll just say that.
You should have asked
So-
them to come forward.
Well, that's okay.
We should have done that.
I just wanted to
Is that
recognize
it?
the family that's been part of this from the very start. And Tiesto is one of the longest serving dogs we've had. Has just been exceptional, and he's just, for medical reasons, he's having to leave. But it's like losing a member of the family.
Yeah.
But thank you very much.
Thank you. Gerald Goode.
Brought show and tell here, sorry. On the side. Okay. All right. So everybody will see that. Well, good evening, everyone. As everybody knows, I'm Gerald Goode. I'm proudly serve as your clerk of the circuit court. This is my 4th year. I began my 4th year in office, and so it's always an honor and privilege of serving in this role. I want to start by thanking each and every one of you for what you do for the county and for all of us citizens here. I feel like it's my due diligence. This is something I've done every year, is to give you all an update of what's happened in our office. And if there's any questions or anything that you would like to ask. But I would have to say that 2018 was the best year that I've had, or I should say we've had, in our office. We've had a lot of major accomplishments, a lot of goals, a lot of things that were accomplished that hasn't been in quite some time, and so I want to get into that. So just want to, again, thank you for this opportunity, for letting me to speak to you all. And sorry if y'all can't see. I don't know if you can see this, but this is a breakdown of our collections that we submitted to the county this past year in 2018. If you look down at the bottom is, of course, we try to split it up, as you probably know, that we actually collect all the collections from the lower courts, juvenile, as well as general district court. With them two, the county collected $1.5 million in court collections just in those two courts. For circuit court only, we collected $235,000 that we submitted to the county in 2018. So just in court collections and fines and fees, we're definitely a busy wing of the governmental center. So this is, like I said, a breakdown. I'll be glad to share with you the spreadsheet. This is a combination of the monthly transmittals that we submit to the county each month. So. Okay, on caseload statistics, comparison to last year, we are down a little bit in criminal cases, by like 50. So, but we're still averaging around 1,500 a year. As I mentioned to you last year, we were second highest caseload in the 27th Circuit, and that's second to Montgomery County. So we passed Pulaski last year. So on behalf of law enforcement, I do want to thank you for all you do. You have the busy people, so we appreciate everything that you do. Civil is up a little bit from 519 to 587. Wheels are actually down. We didn't have as many wheels in the states initiated this year as we did the year before, or last year as we did the year before. Judgments are a little up. Deeds recorded, we recorded over 4,000 deeds in 2018. So that's a good sign for the county. That means that the land transfers are up. Finance and statements, fictitious names, marriage licenses. There were a little bit more marriages in 2018 than 2017. Concealed income permits, we're still at an average of 1,100 right there. So we did 1,154 in 2017. In 2018, we did 1,158. Restitution is up a little bit in terms of, I'll get more into this in a minute, with their access to being able to pay off fines and fees electronically, which like I said, I'll get into in a minute. This helps with more restitution checks getting paid out to victims. And then our passports are really up $395 from $335. I do want to clarify something with passports is that due to the government shutdown, it does not affect the Department of State. So we are still able to do passports, and so if you are planning on doing vacation, passports it's the same as usual. So same turnaround time. If you even expedite it, it's 2 to 3 weeks. Normal turnaround is 6 weeks, somewhere around here. So I just wanted to clarify that with everyone, that passports are still business as usual. So the 2018 accomplishments, as I said, it was a big year for us. The first one is that we had a clean audit from the Auditor of Public Accounts with the state on the 2017 financial records. So that was a big accomplishment there for our office. I commend my staff. I do have one staff member with me tonight, Kay. I appreciate her being here tonight. So it really truly took a team effort. We really, I feel like that was a major accomplishment for our office. We had our plat back scan is all complete, which means that all land records, including plats, are now digitized and available online, which means that Carroll County now has every single land document, including plats, completely available online. are more advanced than a lot of our surrounding counties at that, with just that. So this has been it's been very beneficial. We've got a lot of positive feedback from local realtors as well as attorneys, and that everything in regards to land documents is completely digitized. Some of this will go more in detail in a minute, but I did want to mention we have a marriage license kiosk now. I'll go more into that in a minute. VJobs, that's Virginia Judiciary online payment system. Again, I'll go more into that in a minute. VJS is an e-filing for civil cases. Video docket system we had installed. We had a major enhanced network replacement with the Supreme Court. We have a new video arraignment system. We do have a new Wills and Estates office area. It's actually across from where our main office is now. Ever since I've been clerk, I always felt like it was, very inconvenient for citizens to have to come through, and some of you may have experienced this yourself, to have to come through and go behind through a rolling file area where all the normal court traffic is to try to probate a will. It was very cramped. It actually, we've had people really struggle trying to, people in wheelchairs had to come around our copier, and it's just very inconvenient, in my opinion, for citizens. And so what we've done is we've made some adjustments. We've moved the Wills and Estates office area across the hall to more of a private, confidential environment. It's very more quiet. It's handicap accessible. It's next to the restrooms and that sort of thing. And so it's been very win-win, I think, for not only for us, but also the people that are having to do wills and estate matters. The worst thing is losing a loved one, and second thing is trying to, be unaccommodating in the wills and estate process, because sometimes it can get very complicated. This is something, she's not here, she wasn't able to make it, but as the president, as the first lady, the first lady has major sort of desires and things that attach to her name. Well, my first lady, Cleo, brought up this idea, says, I don't know why that your bathrooms don't have infant toddler changing stations. And as everybody knows, I have a 16-month-old son. And so I have to give her the credit that she brought the idea of installing infant toddler changing tables in both our men's and women's restrooms. So that's one major, or sort of a minor addition that we have in our wing. So we, as I'm sure you've seen in the newspaper recently, we actually bought a new plastic card machine, and we do these in-house. But instead of the paper that some of you may have, we now are issuing hard plastic concealed handgun permit cards. And I'll pass around a sample. This is something that we actually do in-house. We actually designed it. We do everything completely in the office. We don't send off or do anything. The machine was purchased with non-reverting funds. I'll go into that in a minute. But this is I feel like a major big accomplishment for our office, because now we're able to offer and issue more durable concealed handgun permits. So as well as on the left, as you see, we added some new signage to help patrons, when they come to the clerk's office, whether it's courtrooms on one side, clerk's office on the other, wills and estates, and so forth. And so I appreciate the maintenance helping us with that project. So. You probably kind of laugh and see this, but I just want to stress to you the importance of this is that ODS stands for Office of the Executive Secretary, which is part of the Virginia Supreme Court. And I'm proud to say that Carroll Circuit Court now has every piece of technology that you can possibly get through the Virginia Supreme Court. As some of this I've already talked with you in previous years and previous speaking engagements, but this is a list of all of the Supreme Court equipment that we have actually at Carroll Circuit Court. There's nothing else new technology-wise that I can implement for the office. Of course, there's always new things to work on. There's always things to accomplish, but as far as equipment, we now have all of the latest technology that we can get from the Virginia Supreme Court. Just kind of go over right quick. Of course, CCMS is your case management system. Case imaging is where we scan all pieces to the criminal and civil files. The Office of the Court Remote Access, if you recall last year, this is electronic access for attorneys that they're able to access files without having to come to our office due to a yearly fee. You're a user of OCRA here.
Very
so
helpful.
Okay, so, we also have Carroll County Sheriff's Office, a couple of law enforcement is actually on that as well. Covers is something that I actually served on the state committee to develop, but basically it's a land indexing system that's a little bit more enhanced than what we had before. VJOPS, of course, I'll get into in a minute, but it's an online payment system. Virginia Judiciary filing system, video docket, video arraignment, marriage license kiosk, records management, which your land records, and last but certainly not least is the Virginia jury management system. Again, as a reminder, all of our jury management is completely electronically. I do want to tell everybody a reminder that, you know, it doesn't matter if you're a registered voter or not, you still are eligible to serve on a jury. So if someone comes to you and says, well, I don't want to register to vote because I don't want to serve on a jury, that's completely false, okay? So it doesn't matter if they're a registered voter or not, they still are eligible to serve on a jury. So I had that question asked me a lot before as an elected official, so that's the reason why I shared with you on that. It's completely computerized. The computer selects all the jurors. Some of you probably had a questionnaire last year that comes from the state. And so when we get through the questionnaire process, then there's jury commissioners that are appointed. They go through the questionnaires and then they set the master jury list for the following year. And so then the computer system picks from that on each case and whatnot. So it's been a very helpful tool for our office as well as all those for that matter. Okay, as I mentioned to you several times, the VJOPS is something that was completely free to our office. This started this year. This is an online payment system where defendants can actually pay for their fines and fees completely online. This was an optional thing that the courts didn't have to actually sign it, but I felt that it was very important that we did. And so we actually have a link on our county's website for this. But I do want to show you that since we implemented it back in July of last year, we collected over $26,000 in just about 6 months. And so to me, that's very crucial because that's a lot of collections there that we didn't have before, number one. But number two, this saves traffic to our office. This also saves phone calls with our staff. This saves a lot of mail. And so this is a very secure way and as well as a convenient way for defendants to pay their fines and fees online. So I really feel like this is a credit to the reason why our restitution numbers are up a little bit. So I think this has been a very positive thing, I feel like, with a lot of defendants are very pleased with this. I'm not in their shoes and never will I plan to be, but but this is a way that they serve their time. That's probably the last thing they want to do is come back to a courthouse. And so this is a way that they can pay online and do what they need to do and then move on. So we feel like this has been a very positive thing. The VJS is the Virginia Judiciary e-filing system. This is an opportunity for attorneys to actually file civil cases completely electronically. This again was a free service. There was no cost to the county or our office. This is where attorneys can file all their paperwork, everything completely electronically, and then with a push of a few buttons, all that completely can be integrated into our case management as well as into our case imaging without having to scan, without doing a lot of manual input. So far, we only had one person use it or one attorney use it, but we're hoping that this, as the word gets out, that more and more of our local bar and members outside of the county, of course, can utilize this service. This saves with mail. This saves with us having to, like I said, manually scan or case documents and so forth. And so this is a way that another enhanced service that we can actually now have e-filing for civil cases. Okay, some of you may have seen this, but we actually have a 55-inch screen TV in our court lobby now, which is called the video docket system. And it provides an active scroll screen in the court lobby on each case that is set on the docket. So if you come to court tomorrow is a criminal day, you will see all the cases that are set for the docket for tomorrow. If you look on the far right, it shows status. I actually have a way when I sit in court to actually update as the case goes along. So if someone's asking if so-and-so's on the docket, they can just refer to the screen. what was been done before is that we had 1 or 2 copies of a paper docket and we put it in the lobby, and among 10 or 20 people, they would pass around a paper docket, and it was just kind of a crazy thing. But we now have a full-fledged video docket that we can update instantaneously, and it's just, again, it's just more of an enhanced service. Okay. Video arraignment system is a new system that we put inside the courtroom. This provides live video feed from incarcerated defendants to the judge to arraign, which means court-appointed attorneys and things like that, without having to transport. As you probably aware with your budgeting and things like that, you know, the county pays for transports of incarcerated individuals from the Deer Valley Jail and so forth. And so this is a way, we've always had this through another computer downstairs in General District. However, we now have the capabilities of having our own Polycom system for circuit court. What we have had to do in the past is that the judge had to go down to juvenile court, had to go to General District to arraign people. It was an up and down steps constantly. And so now Judge Geisler has his own video arraignment system that not only does that for defendants, but also sets up for video conferencing. If someone is a sworn witness for a case and they're on the other side of the state or whatever, they can actually dial in and it'll be a live video conferencing feed. So we were very pleased that we were able to get that installed. Do a reminder that the video docket and the video arraignment system was purchased with what's called non-reverting funds, and I'll go over that in a minute. This was that without any cost to the account. The marriage license kiosk was, again, a free service from the Judiciary. Didn't cost the county anything. This enhances the process time for marriage license applicants with streamlining all information entered. So, well, what used to is someone comes up to apply for a marriage license, they had to fill out a sheet of paper. Well, then the deputy clerks had to retype all that information on a piece of paper, and this allows the couple to actually apply through this computer, put in their information. It goes to the processing side, where they just print off the license, makes them look it over and sign it, and it cuts out, you know, a great deal of time in terms of processing marriage license applications. So again, this was a free service by the Judiciary. It didn't cost us anything. This was another thing that the state scheduled. It was massive network upgrades. This is a picture of course, our patch panels and Ethernet cables, but the reason why I share with you that is in 2017, all 3 courts were down for a week. And even just a few hours of us being down is very critical. I'll never forget on Good Friday before Easter, instead of going home and spending Easter with my family, I was spending 12 hours indexing deeds because there was no deeds that were processed throughout that whole week because the system was down. And so what I did is I really sort of was a squeaky wheel, so to speak, with the state and told them, I said, listen, we really need to check these equipment upgrades, and I did it for not only us, but also the all 3 courts, because it not only affected me, but also affected the other 2 courts. They were down for a week as well. So it was very crucial. So what they did is that they scheduled very massive upgrades to all 3 courts. We've got stronger connections now. Our blackouts or loss of connections is not near as much as it used to be, or in my opinion, it's not. And so I think that's been a very beneficial thing. That's the reason why I share with you is that without this box and without this, we wouldn't be able to do anything. And so connectivity enhancements is very important. And so I was glad we were able to do that, and the state was on board to get that installed for us. Capital improvement, again, I can't thank you all enough for providing capital improvement funds for us a couple years ago. Our enhanced security button installation is fully complete. We have security buttons installed in several locations throughout our office. Our archives room downstairs, there were 2 HVAC units successfully installed for climate control. All of our walls, floor, and paint has been completed. And so as of right now, we're currently working on successfully transferring all the documents into the acidic-free document storage boxes. And of course, it's an ongoing progress. And so, but we really thank all of our volunteers that come once a week, as well as our interns that's helping with that process. Kind of want to show you some pictures here. Of course, we have everything split, or I try to split them in phases, but I want to show you at the top there the significance of these boxes. In our current archives room downstairs, the majority of the documents are in this condition. As you see, these are actually from the 1800s. So, you know, as a historian that I am, or try to be, this is very crucial to make sure that we take care of, or in my job, is to take care of. We have to protect history.
Amen.
And so the thing of it is that I feel like these documents here are just as important, if not more important, than what I'm going to set in my office tomorrow. And so, as I want to show you, this is what we have is that, you know, if somebody needs to do research, they have to take these drawers out. They have to unbundle these. As you see, these haven't been cleaned yet. They've got mold and mildew on them. But some of the drawers are actually more full than this, and so every time you pull this drawer, you're actually tearing and damaging the documents. And so what we're working on right now is actually doing a full transfer in hopes that eventually all of our documents will be in this format. And the acidity-free boxes, they're actually all flattened out, they're indexed, and then successfully labeled. And so that's the phase one process of what we've got going on right now. I am proud to say that we actually have all our marriage licenses like this. We actually had birth and death certificates down the basement that I didn't know of, and we've got all those done. Confederate pension rosters are done, and then several other things. But it's just an ongoing process right now. It takes time, but we are still working at very diligently for it. I want to show you the bottom picture, bottom left. That's a picture of me in my truck. The clerk of the court in Fredericksburg actually donated a significant portion of these acidity-free boxes. It was at no cost to us, and I actually made 2 trips up there already. And he called me the other day and he said, or actually at the convention rather, and he said, I still got more boxes, so I'm going to hopefully make another trip up there very soon. It was a first come, first serve, and so I'm trying to take as much as I can, you know, and I very appreciate his donation to our locality. You know, Fredericksburg is all in the other part of the state, and so I think it was really great, and I think it was really exciting to see, you know, another locality help another one in Southwest Virginia. I think it was pretty cool. So, of course, phase one is transferring the boxes, and then phase two is, of course, the scanning and the indexing portion, which takes a great deal of time. But you know, we all set goals, and so that's what I'm all about. So we'll eventually get there. Sorry. Okay. Career development. As I mentioned to you last year, we have 3 deputy clerks that, and Kay is one of them that's here tonight, that completed their career development program. So there were 3 deputy clerks that received their master deputy clerk certification. They had to complete at least 60 hours of course credit. The majority of these courses that they took was in relation to their job. That was provided by the Supreme Court. The really cool thing about Supreme Court is I actually came from a higher education background at the college, and I have to say that there was nothing like the training that's been provided in the Supreme Court, because they not only provide certain classes for certain duties, they also pay for everything. And so the travel and the mileage reimbursements and things like that is strictly provided by the state without the cost of the locality. So I was very fortunate for these classes, and I think I as well as the office staff have benefited from them. So, of course, they have to be at least full-time for 3 years, and all three of them actually were eligible for a 9.3 raise from the compensation board. So I was very fortunate that the General Assembly funded career development programs. Okay. Continued is that I do want to let you know that I have just received my certification. I'm a certified clerk with the Virginia Compensation Board, and I'm a master clerk through the, or the certified court manager rather, through the National Center for State Courts. And so my career development program was a little different from the deputies. It was more enhanced, and so I was able to complete that by the end of 2018. Barbara Fadden will be the next deputy clerk that will receive her certification at this year's convention. So we've got 4 now. So we're making some progress. The 2019 goals is, I want to let you know, of course, I feel like I haven't really done as much as I want to with the website. I'm really focusing on that this year. Simplify is like the last thing that I can do. Simplify is not a Supreme Court technology, but it's compatible with Supreme Court technology. And what it does is that it allows our office to accept deeds and land records electronically. So that's another service that we're getting ready to sign. It is at no cost to the locality or our office. So, if you want to look at, as some of you all knew, I lost both of my grandmas this past year. Actually, I lost my great uncle just the other day. I got to go to his funeral tomorrow. 2018 was sort of a challenging year for me personally, but going through that process, within a 3-week span, kind of got me to thinking a lot about things, and I feel like we could, in terms of our office, in terms of streamlining information, we feel like we could do a little bit more in terms of helping citizens with wills and estates. And so what we're going to be doing is we're going to be combining a little packet of information to get to ask for the funeral homes if they wouldn't mind handing out to people that have lost a loved one, to help them with their wills and estate plan, like a checklist, so that they kind of know what's expected, when they call us to get a will probated and things of that nature. And so we feel like this is going to be a good service for citizens, and so we also, not only that, the local funeral home, we kind of talked about some things about offering some seminars for banks in terms of, kind of what we have to do as required as well as the funeral home. And so we're looking into some more outreach type things in the wills and estate area. EVPS, this is something that hasn't started yet, but it's coming. This is where attorneys can actually file their court-appointed payment vouchers electronically. So, that's something for attorneys to look forward to. And of course, the continuous work on archives. Library of Virginia Grant Awards, as you saw in the paper, since 2016 I've been in office, Carroll County's received over $41,000 in Library of Virginia Grant Awards. This last grant that we received preserved D-Book 4, 7, and 14. Staff changes. This was another, I feel like, a big significant accomplishment that we had, is that the Virginia Compensation Board gave us an additional deputy clerk position. We were actually one of 4 localities in the Commonwealth of Virginia to receive an additional person based on our staffing centers. And I have to thank each and every one of you. I want to thank Steve Truitt, the County Administrator's Office, for writing that letter of support. And so we were able to get an additional person, which has helped with workloads and things like that. Our part-time position is now funded by the county, and so with that, I was able to do salary adjustments for our current staff, which they are now paying within average of surrounding localities. So I was able to get, as I mentioned to you all and proposed with the budget meeting that you all had last year, that I was able to accomplish what I said I was going to do, and I want to thank you all for that. And I wanted to remind you I did all this without a local budget increase. So, committee appointments, I would remind you I do serve the Carroll Regional Library Board. I'm actually getting ready to go off. I can't serve more than 2 consecutive terms, and so that might be something y'all need to may want to think about. Is after May, I won't be able to serve on that board either. So, but it has been an honor and privilege of serving on that board. I also serve on the Mount Roger Community Services Board, as well as the Grants Committee. And then this year with the Virginia Judiciary, they offered a joint technology conference, and I was asked as a guest speaker on that to talk about emergency preparedness plans, just in case if something was to happen to our offices, and doing a preparedness and doing a continuing of operations. And so I was very honored that I was actually asked to serve on a panel of speakers for that. And last but certainly not least, me as well as all my staff, we would like to thank each and every one of you for everything that you do for our office and as well as for the county. And we'd like to thank you, all the citizens, for allowing us to serve you. So, thank you. Thank you very much.
Thanks, sir. Here's your license.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Gerald.
Thank you.
I see the light.
Is he like?
Thank you for the job you do.
We certainly appreciate the work you're doing. You're doing a great job.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Now that I've done worked myself out of my glasses. All right, Dr. Jim Kilbourne.
Good evening. It's good for me to look up there and see 4 people who are pretty good friends of mine and a couple of others that I have not met yet. For your benefit and those in the crowd that may not know me, my name is Jim Kilbourne. I'm a retired dentist living here in Hillsville, and I'm also a charter member of the Carroll Wellness Center Board of Directors. On behalf of the Carroll Wellness Center, I extend thanks to each of you for granting us a little time on your busy agenda program tonight. If I may, I'd like to begin with a very brief history about the Carroll Wellness Center. It was the brainchild of the late Randall Grabley, who envisioned a place where children could learn to swim and maybe even swim competitively, as well as a facility that would provide health and wellness benefits for all age groups in the county. In 1990 to 91, when Randall was president of the Rotary Club of Hillsville, the Rotary Club funded a feasibility study through Virginia Tech that would look at the need for such a facility in the county and the prospects of its success. Well, long story short, we organized the Wellness Center, organized the Wellness Center. The Wellness Center Board organized the Wellness Center as a 501c3 nonprofit organization, and with much planning and fundraising, acquisition of property, and finally building and staffing and programming the facility, we ended up in opening our doors in January of 2004 after 13 years of fits and starts and finally success. Memberships in those early days far exceeded our expectations. We were truly overwhelmed by the response in the community. Well, over the last 15 years, we've settled into a fairly predictable membership level, which averages about 1,200 paid memberships. And that translates to probably 2,500 actual individuals who are paying to use the facility. Currently, today, as in the beginning, we are financed primarily by those memberships. Nearly 90% of our funding comes through those fees. The remainder is made mainly from grants and some incidental income like guest fees, merchandising, fundraising, and rentals. In addition to the 2,500 members, we also serve through special classes or programs provided at the center. We serve numerous, actually hundreds of students from Carroll County schools. These services are not supported by membership dues, but among them are swim lessons for every 4th grader in Carroll County, a CAVS program for at-risk students, the high school swim team, cross-training for football, baseball, and softball teams, intercession programs for the students during breaks between terms in the school year, and also special programs for the disabled. What funding we do receive from the school board helps cover the trainer and instructor fees for these services, but it really doesn't do anything to contribute to the expenses that are incurred by the Wellness Center, including pool upkeep and equipment maintenance and so forth. So it's just like in and out money as far as the Wellness Center is concerned. Another really great program that we have is Diabetic Rehab. This service has been a spectacular success in helping pre-diabetics and diabetics control their blood sugar through a healthier lifestyle and physical training. Some participants have actually been able to come off insulin after a few months with the program. This service is now in its second year, and it is entirely supported and funded by a grant through the Crossroads Institute. But I wanted to mention it specifically because of its huge importance and success rate. In the interest of time, I've not described the classes and services that the Wellness Center makes available to all members through their paid memberships, but you should know that there is something for all age groups, from child care for toddlers whose parents are working out, to training sessions and exercise classes for the average Joe like you and me, and even to monthly events and special trips for seniors. So, I am here this evening along with several representatives and members from the Wellness Center to make a request of the Board of Supervisors. A whole lot of people in our community seem to think that we are funded at least partially through funding from the Board of Supervisors. Of course, we know that really isn't the case, but it's an idea that maybe an idea whose time has come. The fact is, our Wellness Center has been falling short in recent years of meeting our expenses. We have, in effect, been borrowing from ourselves, and we know that this can't go on indefinitely. This year, we project that our expenses will exceed our income by about $35,000, which is a significant figure in a budget that is in excess of $600,000 annually. Our hope would be that you would give consideration to the Wellness Center by including us in your budget this year. And our request is for funding at a level of $25,000 to $35,000. That amount would give us confidence in fulfilling our mission this year, and we would hope that you would consider ongoing support in future years to help ensure our continued presence in the community. Our board feels that the Carroll Wellness Center has proven its value in the lives of Carroll County citizens and stands as an important resource and attraction for new residents, businesses, and industries. We intend to keep it vital, and we ask you to help us toward that end. Several folks have joined me here this evening, and they're mostly members of the center, and they can attest to the importance of CWC in their lives and the lives of the life of the community. Dr. Brad Nestor has sent an email that is going to be included in a packet that you'll receive later with his testimonial. But if you would grant me permission, I'd like to allow 2 or 3 of those members who are here to say just a word or two, if you don't mind. Yeah. Who's going to come forward first? I really think we only have 2 or 3, and I promise you they won't take too much time. You want to come forward, David?
I'll start talking on the way up there. My name is Hugh Burton. I live in Fancy Gap. I moved here 12 years ago. I graduated with an engineering degree from Virginia Military Institute. I was a defense contractor successfully for 35 years. I too was one of those people that thought that the Wellness Center was supported by the county, and I was very much surprised to find that it wasn't. To me, it's probably one of the biggest assets that this county has. I weighed 40 more pounds when I got there 2 years ago when I was a borderline diabetic. I'm not borderline anymore, and I feel healthier than I did when I was in my 60s, and I'm 78 years old. Thank you very much for your time.
Anyone else willing to come on?
I'll start talking to you. My name's Donnie Schnall, and don't hold against me. I live in Floyd County, but only 2 miles from Carroll County, so I'm as close as I can be. In 2008, I had a heart attack, and I had 2 stents placed. In September of 2016, I found the Wellness Center and started going there. Of course, in October 2016, I had another heart attack. So now I have 6 stents. But after my rehab, I went back to the Carroll County, and I've been there for the last 2 years. And I honestly believe, if it hadn't been for, the swimming programs and the exercise and the people are so great. You're gone 2 or 3 days, you've got people calling and say, where are you at? What's going on? What do you need? And I think, for your county, you're blessed to have it. And I thank you for your time, and let me talk to you. Thank you.
Thank you.
My name's Bo Goins. I'm from Little Fork, Virginia. I'm a little younger than these two gentlemen there, but I thank you all for being here today, and God bless each and every single one of you before I say anything. But it's a great, I came in 2004 out of college. I just had gotten into, I guess, came out of college in athletics. God blessed me with a scholarship in golf. And the Wellness Center provided an opportunity for me to continue working out and doing things and promoting diabetic and health issues with my family. So I don't want to cause that for me later on down the road. But definitely a great place to see kids in the morning. I teach a 6 a.m. CrossFit class there, and I see kids in the morning practicing on their athletic skills. I also see some old farts up at the top walking around complaining about how high I got the music on, but it's a good thing. Great to see them, and it really is a community-oriented atmosphere. The people really truly do care about you, and just God bless them, and God bless you all. Thank you.
Any others? I think Joey Ogle is going to stand and speak about the swimming program. And don't you have? Aren't you associated with a young man that got a swimming scholarship to Virginia Tech?
So I am the Carroll County High School varsity swim coach. We are in our 3rd season. We have had swimmers to qualify for state last year, and already have 3 swimmers that have qualified this year. Had it not been for the Wellness Center and the pool, we would not have a high school swim team. So, and I do believe that was Randall's vision for the Wellness Center. So I was very happy whenever the high school swim program became a reality 3 years ago. So, that's it.
Thank you for that dramatic speech. Ms. Vass is going to make some comments.
She's going to make it.
Is the Wellness Center a good thing?
The facility, and I do know it does help me. I work on the machines, and I do have one of the trainers to help me all the time. And I work on balance, many things that as we get older we need to work on. So anyway, I'd like to see it function properly, and it can. We have some few problems right now, but we're working on them.
No one else? Thank you for giving us this time. I have brought packets from the Wellness Center for each board member and the good. Have you already got it?
Yeah.
Great. Well, inside there you'll find a lot of information about the Wellness Center, publicity materials and other items, plus a free pass that you can use to come down for 5 free admissions, 5 free check-ins. You could have almost the run of the whole facility, maybe not the therapy pool, but you're welcome to swim, work out, take a class, whatever you want to do. If you've not been there in a while, or maybe never been there, this is your opportunity to come down, and we would be happy to, the staff there would be happy to answer any questions or show you around and make you a real advocate for the center. I know that all of us at CWC appreciate not just your consideration of our needs, but we appreciate you and the greater service that each of you offer to our community. And if you have any questions that you have tonight, I or someone who has come with us might be able to answer them. If not, I'll say again, thank you very much for the time you've offered us. We really appreciate it. Thank you.
Mr. Chair, may I ask you a question?
Yes.
Just follow-up questions after tonight. Who is the best contact person?
Call down to the Wellness Center and ask to speak to Michaela Smith, who's our acting director, or Barry Hicks, who is president of the board.
I think I know how to get hold of Barry.
Okay. Or you can call me. That'll be fine. Thank you all so much.
Can I make one statement? And I'm sorry about my voice and everything, but
it's okay.
This has got to be an omen, because I've been thinking about coming down and talking to y'all about joining. That's my New Year's resolution, that I don't do New Year's resolutions, but I need it.
Now you don't have to talk, just walk in and show that, and
Now I've got a free pass to do it.
That's right.
I mean, this is an omen to me, but no, I appreciate everything you all do down there. Really
I
do.
thank you very much. We do feel like that we're a valuable asset in the community, and despite our struggles, we're making it, and we're making it fairly well, and we're doing a lot of great things. That diabetic rehab program is probably the best thing we've done in several years. But the overall programming down there, we've heard from members who have been members elsewhere in other parts of the state and in other states, and they're pretty amazed that Little Hillsville has this facility. And it's due to a lot of hard work by a lot of good people, and we'd appreciate any support that you might be able to provide. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, could I use my supervisor's time now?
Oh, you cannot.
May I sit down?
I just
Ask Ms. Vash, she usually tells people to sit down, but this is not a negative toward anything. It's just the way it is. Carroll County Board gives $5,000 per year to the Freeze YMCA or Y, and there are two senior citizens groups that we give $5,000 to each in the Fancy Gap District in Cana. I'm old enough to reflect back. We used to maintain a county outdoor pool that we probably spent $25,000 to $35,000 a year on it to stay open 3 months, and they had to clear the mushy ice off of it every morning so the kids people could go over and swim. And sadly, we closed that county pool because of the ongoing expense, and somehow passed that expense over to the wellness center with no donation to have an indoor pool and have that was staffed. Randall Gravely, the finest Christian man, bar ye none, that I've ever met and been associated with, Randall and I chatted, and my concern as a teacher was that if everybody in Carroll County dropped into one big deep hole of water in Big Reed and the water was a ½ inch above their nose, 95% of them would have drowned, okay? And probably 100% of kids. And although there was tremendous need, Randall was chairman of the school board, and he put into high gear a program. Even though there was tremendous need for all grades, he started with the 4th grade, and I think the school board continues to give a donation to the wellness center so that every 4th grader in Carroll County has swimming lessons, and that's gone on since the inception. Many people deserve a pat on the back, including Randall. He needs a 500 because when everybody else gave up, he was there and pushing for the wellness center. Mike Turman comes to mind. Basically, that building was constructed with free labor, thanks to Mike Turman to a large extent. And I would be one of the people that was hooked on to the county water system that was paying the fee and didn't get a whole lot of benefit for years because I paid it in respect to Randall and the need. And then I would go down every once in a while, and I played rook down there or bridge. And then with the knee replacement, I've suddenly gotten religion and gone back down, okay, and started working. That being said, I would make a motion that we put the amount of $35,000 in the proposed county budget for review at budget time. And it needs to be more. I've always been concerned about these little knotheads that can't swim, and I know the wellness center. We got bullfrogs that are in kindergarten now and can swim like all get out. But that's my motion, that we put in the budget for consideration $35,000 contribution. Frankly, we've made out like bandits because that bottomless pit of a county pool that would cost us $30,000 a year to be repaired, we got by for free for many, many years, and that's my rationale. And I would ask each of you to support it for the good of the county. It's not one place. If you go down there, there's people down there using it from all over. And that's my motion, Mr. Chairman.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second his motion, just so we put it into the budget to research it.
I think we can make some, well, I guess there's a motion and a second. Any discussion? I think there's several places that we could cut that would be worthwhile for this money. I know all three of my grandchildren have gone through all 4 levels of swim lessons down there. Each and every summer when they come up and visit, that's where we go. Take them. I'm a member there. I wish, just because you're a member doesn't mean you reap the benefits of losing weight. I don't know. I couldn't figure that out yet. But I think you have to walk a whole lot when you're down there. But it is great. You know, I didn't learn to swim until I was 13. Shoot, my grandkids, they're young and all of them can swim, outswim.
I happened to be down there a couple of weeks ago, and the Nestor girl that pitching that from Carroll County that got the softball scholarship at North Carolina State in the 9th grade and was the #1 pitcher as a freshman for NC State, was down there doing workouts and stuff to get ready to go back to school.
So we got a motion and a second. That was just to look at it in the budget. Is that correct, Bob? All right. Start with you, Joe.
Yes.
Yes. So, yes. Robbie?
Yes.
Dr. Little? Yes. Bob?
Yes.
All right. All right. Motion carried.
Thank you, Ms. Ogle.
Thank you, Joe.
Ms. Vass, your speech was second only to the Gettysburg Address.
All right, citizens' time.
She's going to get it. That's what I've been looking at. I've been looking at stuff.
2,500 for trees. I don't think they get the shoot.
They ain't got nothing this year yet.
That's what I thought.
I think you did.
Mr. Burton, he's done gone. That it? Anybody else wish to speak during citizens' time? Don't everybody jump up at once. All right, I guess we'll move on to supervisors' time, since Bob, you've done yours already.
I know it, and the only thing else.
But I'm gonna start with you anyway.
The only thing else, and I would never say it because I've used my time, is that it is so important, Sheriff, that your men, when they go out in the field, that they're wearing those flak jackets and so forth. And yes, and I salute you for doing that. Okay.
Dr. Littrell?
Well, I don't have a lot, but I'd like to thank Robbie for his leadership during this past year as chairman of the board, and I wish you the very best, Rex, and Happy New Year to everybody.
Robbie?
I would like to once again thank everyone for the opportunity to be chairman last year, and I feel like we had a good year and accomplished some things, and looking forward to some more accomplishments in the future. And I thank everyone for being out tonight. I think we need to see what we can do for the Wellness Center. It is I'm sorry, I got tongue-tied. It is an asset to the county, and I guess that's about it. I do thank JB for the work, and Gary for the work that you all do. I hate that Cody's done left, and for the time and effort that's put forward with the animals when you have them. And I know that's a lot of responsibility those guys take with them, because it's not just something they take on as to have 8 hours a day. They've got that dog 365 days a year, 24 hours a day. And
Dog's replacement in school right now.
And that's awesome. I think that's great. So.
And when we went down to look at the dog, we got 5 dogs to pick from. We picked the dog we wanted out. He got out of the truck, walked right over the handle and shook his hand. The guy said, "You just got chosen." When we went back in and negotiated price on it, the dog was born as Thursday. The day Thursday.
That's pretty cool. That's cool. And I do want to reiterate what Bob said. You know, I read the article of what Cody experienced last week and the week before last, and they can't be careful enough. Just pray for them all each day they go out. Thank you.
Joe Neal?
Skip.
Well, I was coming back.
Oh, you coming back?
You done that intentionally.
That's right. I'm
Messing with you. Just messing with me. Okay. I got enough stuff in my head to get no mess with. I want to thank everybody for coming out tonight. I want to wish you a happy New Year. I want to thank our staff for all the hard work they do, our sheriff's department, our clerk. Wow, 2018 was my first year, and was it a year? And I learned a lot. I learned a lot about government. I learned a lot about Carroll County. I learned a lot about policy, and I learned a lot about people. And I look forward to going into 2019 with open eyes, open mind, to do the best for the citizens of this county, not just from the Law Fort District that I represent, but the best for all the citizens of Carroll County. I'm very upbeat. I'm very thankful for a lot of the good news that we're starting to get as far as our finances and our resources, and things seem to have turned around from years past, and that's past, and I don't want to harp on that. I want to look forward to the future in fixing these problems, whatever they might be. I want to thank Robbie for chairing the board last year. He did a great job. He helped me quite a bit, more than a lot of people know, because I was constantly calling him going, what do I do now? What are we going to do now? And Rex was vice chair last year, and he did the same thing. And everybody on the board has been so helpful to me during my first year. Again, I just want to thank everybody in this county and this staff and in this building, all of our departments that work so hard. And let's make 2019 better than 2018. I challenge everybody sitting in here tonight to do that. It's not going to be easy. 2018 was not easy. 2019 will probably be a little bit harder. But if we can see reward benefits next year at this time sitting here, then we've done our job. And we just got to keep digging at it and digging at it and working on it and working on it. That's all I've got to say. Thank you.
Philip?
Mr. Webb, they save the best to last, you know. So now it's my time. Thank you.
Follow that, dude. Follow
Thank
that.
Robbie for serving as chairman last year. He did a good job. Thank all of you. We worked together well. We might have didn't agree on everything, but we didn't really come out enemies. And I congratulate Rex for being chairman for the upcoming year, and Joe for the vice chairman, and look forward to serving with them. Thank all y'all for coming out, and I do want to thank the Sheriff's Department and all the ones that, paramedics and everybody that works, and I was so blessed that it come out so well for Cody that he was able to come out of that deal and be able to tell us about it. And I just, like Joe said, I hope we can have a better year this year. I hope we can continue to maybe work on the problems we got and see some solutions. Thank y'all.
Yeah, I want to thank Robbie again. Done a great job last year. I hope I can do half what you did and going forward. I do want to ask, Sheriff, you do provide your men opportunities to go to the wellness center, don't you? I see them down there frequently. That's great for their, helps them be physically fit for the job, but it's very demanding. So that's another benefit that the wellness center provides. And I want to thank staff, everything that they've done, all the work that's gone into trying to develop and work and bring businesses into the county, and Sheriff's Department, EMS, and everyone else. And everybody, and have a good new year, and I'll take a motion for adjournment.
I so move.
Second?
Second.
All four say yes.
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 All right. Yes.
Kitchen. Smashed on the table.
Oh, yeah.
Well, places to do stuff.